Hi guys, today's topic about inverted papilloma. It is the second common benign tumor after osteoma. So most common benign tumor of nasal cavity is osteoma followed by inverted papilloma. It is a benign neoplasm arising from sinonasal mucosa, also called synovial membrane. So it's arises from the synovial epithelial mucosa of the sinonasal cavity. It's having three morphological distinct papilloma types. It collectively all three are called Cnidarian papilloma because it's having different distinct type of presentation. So first Cnidarian papilloma type is exophytic. It's about 18 to 25% of the cases. It's having exophytic cauliflower like presentation, about 18 to 25% cases. Oncocytic, which having extensive dysplastic changes leading to 5 to 15% of cases, may convert into squamous cell carcinoma after some time. And this inverted papilloma is about most common type of papilloma in which the epithelium invaginates into the stroma, about 60% of the cases. So in Cnidarian papilloma, there is three type of papillomas are exophytic, oncocytic, and inverted, in which the inverted papilloma is most common type. On nasal endoscopy or enterrhinoscopy, you can see polypoidal pink mass in the nasal cavity, mostly unilateral, about 95% of the cases. Incidence about 1 to 1.5 per lakh population, and it's common in the male 3:1. It's common in the 5th to 6th decade of life. Origin mostly inverted papilloma is found origin from lateral nasal wall, mostly ethmoidal region about 48%, maxillary sinus about 28%, sphenoidal sinus about 8%, frontal sinus and nasal inferior about 3%, and nasal septum about 2%. So most common site of origin is lateral wall of nose and ethmoid region about 48%, adjacent to the maxillary sinus opening. The unilateral in 95% cases, or bilateral is about 5% only, and side predilection is common in both right and left side. There is no side predilection. Main complaint is nasal obstruction, sometimes epistaxis, nasal discharge, epiphora, diplopia, extensive sinus obstruction leading to headache. Etiology mainly viral infection, some inflammation also leading to this, and there is environmental exposure, asbestos and pollution. Most common viral pathogen may be related to inverted papilloma is human papilloma virus, mainly 6 and 11, sometime 16 and 18 also involved. The most common malignancy associated with inverted papilloma is squamous cell carcinoma. Other may varicose mucoepidermoid, spindle cell, carrier cell, and adenocarcinoma be associated with. If you see inverted papilloma with squamous cell carcinoma, if you have operated after biopsy, you will get 7% chance of squamous cell carcinoma in the inverted papilloma biopsy. But after 2 to 5 years, if you have already done the surgery for inverted papilloma and site of origin may show after 2 to 5 years there is squamous cell carcinoma, previously operated cases, it is called metachronous squamous cell carcinoma after 2 to 5 years of operating the inverted papilloma. On histopathology examination, there is DGT form proliferation squamous epithelium in the stroma. The staging of inverted papilloma is 4 stages. Stage 1 is it localized in the nasal cavity. Stage 2 is OMC region and medial wall of maxilla and ethmoid sinuses. Stage 3 is maxillary sinus except medial wall, lateral posterior superior wall, frontal and sphenoid sinus involvement, and extra sinus is stage 4. Its Crouch classification. but it's you don't have to follow the classification. Only we have to see endoscopically there is where is the attachment. So we have to remove completely. Wedge resection of attachment is compulsory for doing inverted papilloma. Diagnostic workup mainly nasal endoscopy, where we have to see attachment, single or diffuse attachment. On CT or MRI, on CT scan you can see there is hyperostotic and ostatic changes at the site of attachment where maximum inflammation will occur. On MRI there is convoluted cubiform pattern. You can see there is fine lines of hyperintense and hypointense densities, and biopsy is gold standard for histopatho examination, gold standard for inverted papilloma. The treatment is mainly surgical, endoscopic resection most of the cases with wedge resection of attachment. If maxillary sinus is involved, you can do endoscopic medial maxillectomy if you are not able to see the site of attachment. So you have to wedge resect the site as attachment. Main surgery is resection depending on site of origin and attachment. So you have to completely remove the site of attachment. Open approach may be needed sometime if it is involvement far extension of far sinus involvement is there, where endoscopic approach is not possible, like median line of pupillary and frontal sinus involvement, like far extension involvement of frontal sinus. Thank you so much.